intro
thing. All right, we just finished the Herald's Tomb, which was a total hacked together version of a venture called Doom of the Savage Kings,
neat.
but run totally differently. And I changed the hound to a boar because I didn't think some of my friends would kill a hound, even like otherworldly not hound thing that the people call the hound wasn't going to happen. So I changed it to a boar, and apparently we are fine killing delicious pigs because F them. An interesting thing that I think this group did is they talked to the boar, this otherworldly creature that's been hunting people in the village, and kind of made a peace with it in a way that I thought was super cool. And then they looted the tomb and were pretty efficient about it, and found their way to the true tomb and got the I altered this adventure a lot because from a previous adventure we had, there was a dusk elf's bones that we need to get back home. So that is kind of what the adventure hinged around. And so we didn't get to a lot of like the weird stuff that was in this adventure because I kind of tossed it out, because that's what you can do when you spent your $10 and you're done, and you don't need to do what the adventure tells you to do. So we're going to do stars and wishes. And I would also like to officially welcome Jonte and Sparkle, who have just completed their first adventure in a tabletop role-playing game ever. Welcome to gaming, you two. Gaming is better off having you in it. They are jujitsu friends of mine, so we have all choked each other, and in a
strictly consensual way.
In a strictly consensual way. Pete and I have choked each other too. Aaron is the only person here who hasn't tried to choke me, and we might have to change that at some point. So we're going to do some stars and wishes and just kind of go over the game. And I would like to say my first star is to the newcomer rookies. You guys did great, and I thought you played cool characters, and I liked your reactions to things, and that was really nice to see. So thumbs up, and welcome to this absolutely ridiculous way to spend time with your friends that I can't get enough of and do way too often. Aaron, any other stars that come to mind for you?
Yeah, so this is not a, having 5 people to sift through the fiction with can be tricky. I think, Judd, you obviously are well versed in keeping the camera moving around, but I think that when the lights were on, everybody, I feel like we got a lot of fun descriptions thrown in while sharing the camera. Really evocative stuff. And really, not to sound like patronizing in this way, but it shouldn't be, but like I had no idea that you two had never played a role-playing game before. So for whatever that's worth, like that was awesome. That like it was pretty seamless. If like the questions that you were asking, the things you were doing are like it was fantastic. And I didn't notice at all. And I would say that the some of those details that we had in the tomb, specifically the serpent skin on that floor, was like very evocative and extremely creepy as someone that does not really love snakes.
Cool.
So good job there.
Awesome. Sparkle, any stars that come to mind?
I think my biggest stars were how unexpected some of this stuff was. I just Captain talking to the boar, I just expected it would just be a fight and we figure out how to kill this thing. I was prepared over here trying to figure out how to get this poison in, and then we talk to it and we have another adventure. You know what I mean? So like the unexpectedness and how we could just go wherever, and you just have to adjust for that.
Yep.
It's a big star.
Awesome. Jonte?
I just want to thank everybody here for like welcoming me here, and I've been wanting to play for a while, and I was talking to Judd about it, so I was really excited. I think one of my stars is how everybody just accepted because the name was Captain Creed, that he's just the captain. Everybody was just like, all right, I guess this is what it is. I don't need that much responsibility. But no, it was like really fun. Yeah, everybody's character kind of had what ideas they had about each, scenario, everything that came up. We all have like a different, kind of set of eyes and how we're seeing things. I thought it was really cool that although his name is Glim, he like illuminates things. You would think like it'd be the opposite, but if anything, he lit us through a very dark, place. I think that was pretty ironic, and then this guy's name is Thorough, but he drinks a lot, so you never know how thorough he's actually going to be.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a really fun time.
Awesome.
I don't think I did anything. It was cool.
Awesome. Good. Pete, any stars from you?
I think that the way everybody embraced their characters was absolutely fantastic, and I felt like Thorough knew these people from prior excursions and things like that, and I really enjoyed that a lot. I especially loved the way everybody brought a little bit of something to every situation. I loved when Pip just sat there and was like, "Oh, you're gonna get killed. You're so gonna get killed." I loved how like the captain was just like, "All right, I'm the captain, so I'm gonna be, chest forward, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead." And I loved how Glim had this kind of like he had almost this this Tolkien-esque like elven sorrow. Because clearly he'd been touched by the dusk lands and the dusk elves and stuff like that. And I thought all that was really spectacular. And it really helped move us forward as a group.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good.
Great stuff. Yeah. I loved I love Aaron's reaction to the Dusk Elf stuff and to their tragedy. Not that it's like a huge reach for him to like react to elven tragedy. If Jonte and Sparkle don't know Aaron as well as Pete and I do. Pete and I put in a lot of hours with Aaron and elves, especially like sad, almost going to the west Tolkien elves are like Aaron's like sweet spot. So these adventures have gone over very well for him. And Pete, I loved as a veteran gamer, the way you like you were the first one even before me to like just really jump on the captain's captaincy and be like, "Yep, captain, absolutely," and like you realized how important that was to have someone else. There's like a thing in gaming where like, I can have a pet, owl on my shoulder, but until like Aaron's character comes over and says, I give the owl a scritch and talk to you about something, it's not really real. And like that's what Pete did. He came over, he gave the owl a scritch, and like he made Jonte's captain title like a real thing in a cool way that I thought was awesome. And Jonte, I thought you were like, there are people who do that kind of leadership role and make it a real mess and are kind of dicks about it. And you like asked people, you were a good leader. You like asked people what they thought, and you were really excellent. Like usually there isn't a leader as clearly delineated as that. But it was really cool. And I don't know if the captain will be like in the lead of every game he's in, but I liked seeing this side of him. I thought it was really awesome.
It was cool how you didn't let me go off the rails, like when I wanted to split up, and just like kept it like, but there's only one light source, so
and I didn't plan that, right? Like there's nothing wrong with and there's nothing wrong with splitting up. Like there wouldn't be. It's doable, and it's literally like a cliche of gaming of like, don't split the party. Like you'll literally see memes about it, but sometimes you need to split the party, and it's totally fine. And it was good stuff. Cool. Wishes. I mean, I would love to see these characters again in different contexts. And my other wish is to see the board gets home. Definitely, that's an adventure that needs to happen. And if there's a future adventure where like 3 of the 4 of you are around, then are signed up for it, then I'll make sure that that's the adventure we do. And if that doesn't happen in a while, then maybe I'll just like ping the 4 of you, or the 4 of you, and get us all together and be like, hey, let's go finish up that adventure sometime.
Here.
So that's my wish. Pete, what are you thinking for wishes?
I would love to do a downtime with these characters.
Yeah.
Just hanging out post adventure type thing. Taking the apothecary back to Bastion.
Right.
That kind of thing. That's kind of, I'd like to see that. I'd also like to see us in a big combat at some point.
Yep.
I'd like to see how we work together as a team in that regard. So
I'm sure we'll see that.
Yeah.
Yep. Sparkle, any wishes you'd like to see for the future?
Yeah, I definitely would like to see some combat, and I would like to see like building out my character a little more, like just growing and getting more gear and just like growing more as a character.
Yep.
Mhm.
Cool. We absolutely will. Those things will definitely happen.
Mm-hmm.
Jante?
I definitely want to see how Pip's friendship goes with this giant boar. I think Pip was a little more interested in the boar, but who knows? Maybe Pip will sway this beast.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see the captain be challenged.
Yeah.
I see how, because it may not even necessarily be all like a physical challenge, like somebody who kind of puts themselves at a certain standard, they're kind of expected to hold that. So I want to see if there's ever a place where the captain kind of has to make a rough decision, where nobody can do that.
Yep. And you guys made cool decisions, but the die rolling was very much on your side, and you made a lot of successful rolls. So there are definitely games where things just fall to shit, and somebody gets gored by a boar and ripped in half, and you've got to take them back to town and make a deal to get them kept alive, and like all kinds of like there are definitely games that don't the dice made a lot of like cool decisions for us. But there are also nights where things just fall the other way, and it goes really poorly. And that's not ever like a judgment on the people playing. That's just like the way the game goes sometimes.
Right.
Sparkle, any wishes?
I didn't know which was right.
She already did the wish.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Glenn.
It's Aaron.
Aaron, any wishes? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, this is slightly stretching for me because I love fantasy so much more than I love sci-fi stuff, but I think that like, not that there hasn't been odd or alien stuff in the 2 sessions that I've been in this game, but I think that like coming into some like encountering some more like science fantasy stuff would be cool too. Like again, last time there were the like Wraithguard mech things, but they felt more like atmospheric because we didn't like have to tangle with them. So encountering some of that stuff I think would be really neat. And then this is not so much a wish, but now knowing that Jante is a new gamer, one thing that it looked like your D20 went off the book and like hit the floor. So like this is like a little bit silly, cheesy kind of thing, but one of my favorite gamer things is like if it hits the floor and it's like within the range you need, it counts. But if it's outside of that range, you're like, nope, it's got to be on the book. I get to re-roll it.
That's a classic.
Yeah, I don't know. I was rolling on like my small table, so like every time I roll, I was like, I'm just gonna accept that's gonna fall.
I literally
when I roll
have like little boxes everywhere, so I can like roll them. Anyway,
die rolling is such a weird gamer thing that develops like over time, and Judd and I play together a lot, and I do this thing where I have a bunch of dice to roll and I like roll them all together. I call it heating them up, and like Judd will watch me like do that for like 10 seconds, then okay. He knows it's my ritual, but
and there are way weirder rituals. Some people don't like you to touch their die. It gets really weird. Some people
I actually have my daughter come and touch all my dice before I
Oh, nice.
For those of you who don't know, my daughter is an adult with special needs, and so she loves my dice, and so she's always trying to steal them. So what I do is, as part of allowing her to touch the dice, is that she blesses my dice before every game.
Nice.
So,
that's lovely, Pete. That's a K fact I did not know. That's awesome. I am going to turn off the recording in a second, but I just wanted to again welcome Sparkle and Jante. That was awesome. I am honored to have welcomed you into this
you're here.
ludicrous endeavor.